Hello, welcome to the Iron Division 4 podcast. We're back once again, slightly later than usual. A lot of things happened over the weekend, and Hoots is still without internet. For now.
Hello.
Hello. How do you feel about Hoots not having internet still to this day? Does it upset you, Tim?
I think he could use some less internet. He's been too involved with the internet, so I think this is a good countermeasure for his addiction.
You mean addiction? I mean, we're all addicted to the internet. Some more than others.
Yeah, that's why I said this is a good way. Like, I need my addiction; it's my job. So why don't I? So for him, could you finally realize that there's more than the internet?
Yeah, fair point. So, for those who don't know, Solitary Yates is the main host, as always. That's myself. And here's my Dutch informed LEC, LCS, LCK slash Evelyn One Trick main, which is
Hi.
Tim.
I can literally only play Evelyn. I don't play other champions anymore.
Yeah, you can only play Evelyn apparently. Speaking of, let's go into what's the main part. So for those, we are from League of Legends Amino. Remember, we are not sponsored or promoted or even have anything to do with League of Legends Amino directly, or at least Amino. Rather, we just want to grow this community, and we do have the support of wonderful leaders as well. So they all are helping us out on that. So as I said, if you are new to Amino and you want to know how to download it, as I said, do please download it on the App Store, basically the Apple App Store, or on Google Play. And then you can have all these hosts of like lovely communities, but you want to go to the best one, which is League of Legends Amino. Like,
Of course you want to go to League of Legends Amino. That's the only Amino you want to go to because the rest is all questionable.
what they call it again? Snowflakes.
Yeah, I think most of the Aminos is just. I mean, it's a personal opinion, but most of the Aminos is just roleplay and art.
Oh yeah, role playing art. But we're different. We have competitions.
Yeah, we are very different. We also have roleplay and art, but we also have all these other great things.
Like, for example, did you know we have a fan club called LA Officials Fan Club? So,
No, I've not heard of that. Tell us more.
for only 30 coins a month, you get to join our Amino fan club.
Hold on. You need to explain to these fellow people that watch this enticing podcast what are coins.
So, coins are virtual currency. You know, like how you can earn real money in the real world? Well, you can earn virtual coins in the virtual world.
Oh shit. Well, how do you earn those sick coins in the virtual world called Amino?
So, all you need to do is post stuff, get some, basically subscribe some coins, basically turn ad stuff on in your setting apps, etc., etc., etc. I would show it, but remember, I don't have I don't have a webcam that does mobile phone stuff. But essentially, is at some point we'll be going and delving into how you can earn amino coins. But basically, posting, blogging would get other people to even give you coins as well. So people can gift you coins if you do some good stuff.
Yeah, so for a little bit added detail, if you choose to earn free amino coins, you can also go to the wall where they have offers. It's like any other shitty app that needs to earn money. Basically you play other games or you do a certain amount of tasks to get some free coins. You can get about 5k free, which is a lot, by the way. Don't get me wrong. It's like what, 50 euros, I believe, something like that. 5k coins.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
On top of that, if you choose to have the Yates on, you can get about, I would say, 120 a month extra. And then you have like the free coins you get anyways, which is about 5 a day. So that's like, well, the quick calculation is like, what, 150 free, another 150 free per month. So you can get a lot for free. Which is like, so let's say 270, which is like the equal amount of, uh, it's like, yeah, €2 and 70 cents, I believe, something like that. Or it's like, no, the one coin is like €1, something like that. So
Something like that. But also, you forgot the main part as well. We do weekend challenges. So
oh yeah,
the weekend that went by, we had a vision score competition. For some reason, I was number 3. In fact, I was tied for number 3 with Selenira. So apparently,
wait, didn't you win it?
nope, I only got 94. I still got coins, but Wizard got the most. How he did that, I don't know. My games were pretty long, so either I was not effective at Vision Warding, or basically he's just a god at it. But yeah, pretty much is we do these challenges every weekend, and also in addition we do weekly 5v5s and EOS. So every Saturday at 6 p.m. GMT, which could be 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in your time, dependent, you could play some games with us, and we just do normal 5v5s, we do ARAMs, we do even fun game modes like Chase Teemo, which apparently only works in Dominion, so we've got to figure out how to make it work in Summoner's Rift. It's probably going to be hard. And also we do wet noodle fights, which is just basically tank only items on any champion. So yeah, we have a lot of fun things to do.
Tank only items on Evelyn XT.
Yeah, she's gonna be just useless. Except
I will bring back the alt belt, having the Sunfire capes.
What, the invisible Sunfire cape?
Yeah, you would just sit in a side lane. What was it, season 3?
Yeah.
You would just sit into the side lane with like 4 Sunfire capes, and you would just like.
Yeah. Or basically 6 black cleavers, and you just do true damage. Because
but that black cleaver is a bruiser item. I got you there, cheater.
yeah. Oh well. So let's go over to the main topic at hand. So what do we mean by the main topic? So
yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, it's explain it to us.
What do you mean explain it to you? I know what to do. So
I mean us, as in the viewers and me.
So the viewers are retarded. So we already established that.
Oh, rude! Now well, we have 0 viewers left.
0 viewers left. Is it 9? No. Wait a minute. Oh, 9.7 is Dunkmaster Ivan. Speaking of Dunkmaster Ivan, I love that skin. Everyone else hates it. So wait a minute. I just found this out. Rek'Sai no longer causes server crashes when her hard Void Rush hit unpassable terrain.
Yay! Whoa, bug fix! Whoa.
Okay, but yeah, let's address this Kayle. So Kayle, people say Kayle got nerfed, but she more or less got compensated buffed.
That's not true.
Second.
Is that true? That she got a compensation buff?
Yeah, basically her W is instant cast now instead of a delay.
I mean, it was sort of insta cast because you could you had an animation cancelling on it. So
yeah, but she no longer disarms herself. But essentially, she lost attack growth, damage growth, and attack speed growth, which kind of hurt Trinity Force in a way. But the Trinity Force build is still the most effective on Kayle. Right now, Kayle, as according to Mobalytics, not Mobalytics, LOLlytics, has also turn ads on, folks, to support your viewers. So Kayle has still over 50% win rate with a pretty much high play rate, actually, 13.16. And her ban rate's slowly increasing. And also win game versus game length, of course, she's late game damage threat. So there was professionals in high elo have said that Kayle cannot lane against any of her top lane matchups. One of them being Jax, maybe Renekton, etc., etc. How do you feel, Tim, Kayle is right now in health-wise spot?
It's kind of funny. I only played one game of her versus you, where we dominated bot lane 2-0 against Draven. Should never have happened, by the way, but we did it anyways.
Yeah.
And it was completely useless. Yay! We lost the game. I was the only one fed in the team, and I couldn't do anything with it. So that was really bad. To be fair though, I had the wrong build. I went the on-hit build. Not the most effective. I should have definitely went the more burst build with the crit, I suppose.
Yeah.
But what I feel like Kayle is, like the level 11 is a mediocre power spike, to be fair. Like it's mediocre at best. And other champions at level 11 just have a bigger power spike, like the Vladimir, like the Cassiopeia, like any champion that has actually useful ult in the 1v1, I feel like. Because Kayle is all about getting as much DPS in as fast as possible. And she will nuke anyone on level 16, no doubt about it. And that's where her strong suit is. Like I would say level 16 if you have 3-4 items. I don't think there's any champion in the game right now that can duel her. So the point I'm trying to make with this is Kayle needs a big buff in the early game. Like an actual decent buff, which makes her laning phase somewhat comprehensible, and a big nerf late game. She's too unbalanced. A champion should never have literally every single top laner in as a counter. Like maybe besides maybe a tank, but I'm pretty sure Sion can 1v1 her, so we're not gonna talk about that. But like a champion should never have like an all-out counter game counters all across the board from like pretty much level 2 on forward, because she wins level 1 trades pretty effectively, which is weird, but she does. To like a late game where she stomps every single champion in the game. If I am a 19-0 Evelyn, I want to be able to one-shot her. I don't want to have to deal with, oh she ults, now I take a bunch of damage, oh now she nukes me. That is kind of like where it comes in. Like her ultimate should be how it was intended to be, where you can't attack during the ultimate. That's just how it should be. Not that afterwards you come out of your ultimate, you still have like 2-3 seconds of, I don't know how long it is, I believe it's a second and a half maybe, of full on attack and then nuking like 3 people. That is not how it's supposed to be, and that's why I feel like she's way too powerful. And that is the only reason. Also, I want to mention real quickly for the people that didn't know, I played a game where we literally had, the enemy team had literally had an open nexus. We had a Gragas and a Zed on it. They were both hitting it. Kayle needed to go through 3 turrets, and an inhibitor, and she won the split push game. Or base race, I should say.
Oh yeah, and she was heavily behind as well.
Yeah.
That was the sad part. So I think that was just more or less down to our special teammates more than anything else. Pro tip: don't blame your teammates. It's always your own fault. Alternatively, blame the jungler.
Always blame me.
So, but that really becomes another case though, which is in terms of Kayle. I played a few games of Kayle, but then again, I'm not a top lane main. I'm platinum level, and that's only platinum level on the support. At best, I could be called a silver top laner. I just feel like Kayle, she's not fun. Basically, she's not fun to play around in terms of her item spikes. Because she typically... So, Trinity Force is pretty much a go-to power spike. And yet, it doesn't even feel like one to me.
I feel like on kills it's the same case as Aatrox Orwell before he got nerfed, where like the item spikes aren't very clear. Like Aatrox will build Black Cleaver or what is the item called? Ghostblade?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghostblade, sorry. And one of the two, depending on how hard he stumped the lane, what he needed, like for example in Cyan you wanna have the Black Cleaver. That was when Aatrox was at his prime, when he was played also mid lane, when he was very strong. And then but whenever you hit that first item on Aatrox, you still felt very vulnerable because Aatrox was a very vulnerable champion. And now Aatrox needs to hit like 2-3 items, and then
Yeah.
he's fully online. I would say that Aatrox certainly feels a lot more balanced right now. But I'm just trying to say, like, Kayle has the same issue. She needs a couple of items before she feels like, oh, this is something. Like now I can play the game, and it doesn't feel like with 1 or 2 items, it doesn't feel like you can actually do that. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are of your opponent, when you don't really feel like you have control over anything. And that is the sad part with Kayle, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. She does definitely need some changes in terms of making her feel more satisfying early game, but just not have the late game monster situation. Because it's just like if you pick Kayle, as pretty much they say, is like a joke at this point. But with an absurd win rate that she does have, she has a 55% win rate, and I think that's just down to everyone just building better items on her.
Definitely.
For example, everyone stopped even though people are building Nash's Tooth, apparently Nash's Tooth isn't the go-to build. Sorry. So let's look at Kayle's like pro builds. Sorry, hiccups. So yeah, so some people are building Nash's Tooth, but it seems like everyone is just building Balk or Crit most of the time, or some lifesteal.
Yeah, it does seem like some people want to go for the weird ass AP build. That can certainly work too. I feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, the AP stats on Kayle, let's be honest. I feel like if you build full AP, you definitely have a little bit. You have a better spike earlier because
Yeah.
she does do AP burst damage.
Thing is
But-
though,
Yeah, go ahead.
thing is though, is that I watched a Pansar Dragon video when he was on Kayle, and he built Ludent's Echo on her, which I found really weird. He does it after, I think it was Trinity Force. He went Trinity Force into Ludent's. I don't know why, but he also went over and he says that E max second is actually bad. It is W max second that you should go for because it has better scaling. So I'm gonna go over what he means by that. So
You should actually look up the video of Caps playing Kayle in solo queue. You can find that very easily. It's a very popular video.
yeah, I'm just gonna go over these stats though. So just a moment. Basically, this is what he was referring to. So Starfight only gives like 5 more damage as passive damage.
Yeah, true.
But it also gives like 10% to 20% of targets missing health. Whereas with these it actually has good base healing, and the movement speed as well goes up to 50%.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, and then it's 8% per AP, so
Yeah.
that's probably also why people want to build AP instead of 80. But on the other hand, her Q gets skills with 80. So
Well, people go Q into W range.
yeah, Q and W. But I would say, like, why would you build W if you have the W build? Why, if you use that a lot, why would you go 80? Because it's skills of AP. That's what I mean.
Yeah, true, and AD looks like to be a stronger build, which makes W pretty. But then again, it already has good base movement speed by itself. So.
Alright, go to YouTube. Just look up the Caps playing Kayle solo queue, something like that. That was what the video was called.
Wrong one.
YouTube Music.
Yeah, I use YouTube Music. I use it over Spotify. Which is weird, but that's probably because it has more music that I like.
Kill music, good one. We need Caps playing in the solo queue. Yeah, that one. First video. There you go. That one. It's for mid piece. That's why I remember it. Okay. Of course, mid piece, respectable mid laner in his own right.
Everything so this champion is really.
Yeah, we're gonna...
He just goes over the stats and he shows basically how this guy is smurfing on Kayle. We will see what Caps is doing. Right now he's just getting booted by the Zoe, that's normal. Kayle loses early game matchups, of course. So, but we will see a little bit how he will turn it around, I suppose. Still getting the XP in. Oh, this is Pentakill skin. I was like, what? What skin is this?
You can see there,
he cleanses the
you don't have to wait for the sleep to hit. You cleanse and it automatically gets rid of the
sleepy
bubble.
turbo bubble. So he's playing this lane very safe. He's just farming basically. He doesn't want to march, which makes sense.
He knows how to get those minions even
Is Kayle going to be activated in the playoffs?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
She is already activated in the LCK, so definitely.
Has people picked any LCK yet?
No. Nobody plays for late in LCK.
Nico on hit.
Like, well, they do play for late, but not that late. You know what I mean? They don't want to play for. They don't want to play for 40 minutes. They want to play for 25, basically. So he goes for the blessing one first, and then goes back to lane, which is a very important notice. So he definitely goes the AP build here.
ESG, no way.
Okay, he gets hooked. I assume he's dead here.
Zoe picks up first blood.
So much
the
you
Blitz
can
has a
do.
beautiful roam.
Yes, it's back to lane, just farming again. Like but people have to notice that E is actually AoE once you hit level 6, if I'm not mistaken. So you will hit like multiple minions, and that's also where you attack passive stat comes into active, so you can get like.
Gonna be grabbing the blue now from the.
Oh, he's getting free blue here. Oh no, he's not. Jarvan just.
Oh.
What?
Dude, oh, dude.
Oh, Caps is mad, probably.
Tilted out of his mind.
He's tilted.
Oh my god, I haven't watched
over the
this
Jarvan taking blue.
This fucker stole the blue. He's so.
Oh wow, that was a good video.
Yeah, that's the best video. Caps is a role model.
Yeah, he is. He was definitely tilted from not getting the blue.
Upgraded stacks, man. Here we go. So you're gonna see those.
But he still wants to win the game. He is like, what you see, like this is what I mean, people. You will lose out with farm. You will lose out a lot with farm. Like he can't farm a kill because of the AoE clear. It's basically building a TMF from behind without building a TMF. It gets really complicated to farm really well, and of course if you die, you will give up farm too. Caps did a good job though. He's not too far behind yet.
This is like.
So we will see how this
goes.
Caps farming the jungle because he's still
until level 6. I don't think so. People tell me, oh, Kayle could be a jungler. I don't think
that's a good thing.
You cannot gank.
Mr. Ace.
There's nothing you can possibly do. I think it's trash. The only way you could justify it.
So this Zoe does actually a really good job in both farming and
just funnel it with a Lulu top lane with Ardent.
Oh, the Zoe gets hooked in anyways, and that's the damage you want to kind of look for. The W power up. So it's kind of funny, but he actually gets all his passive stacks up now, and that is something I was struggling with when I was playing Kayle against the Draven. Is that even though I was so far ahead, Draven just threw an E, and I wasn't really capable of getting in there, getting my passive stack, so it didn't really deal damage. That's kind of where one of the few flaws with Kayle is. If she doesn't get her passive stacks, you can get the damage off. Now, we're gonna watch whatever this is gonna be. This is free kill basically. Okay, he gets the shutdown. Which is pretty important, free roam basically. Free kill for Caps, pretty free roam because Zoe was dead. So now Zoe's getting caught out again. Not really much going on. Killing spree for the Kayle now. And this is when Kayle's online. Like diluted, you can see it here too. He also builds diluted. So this is again for the W scaling, I would say. Because there's no reason to build diluted if you don't go for the W.
everything loses, and then
Okay,
it gets
Jarvan
around
and,
25 minutes. I hit level 16.
Jarvan's clearing out the minions and then
entire game is just
having
won. I'm in
the,
base, losing all my inhibs, and then boom.
having the
I've won the game.
hiding behind the minions for the Q from Zoe. Now Zoe's just clearing out the wave. She can't really do much against those two because she doesn't have flash.
And right now,
Jarvan,
is the switch, guys.
if
So
she
just watch
overextends
switch
for the minions and
of
tries
this
to clear out
champion.
the
I
tower,
think at this point
Jarvan
in
will
the
just
game,
die for a
Kayle
kill
is
with the
actually very
ultimate,
good.
and it's kind of
But
just
it
GG
takes
then.
14 minutes to become relevant.
So
At this stage, I think
we'll
you're
go
actually
over
very
here.
good.
Now you can really see now Caps has a few kills. There's not much Zoe can do anymore. This is why. Because Zoe can't really one-shot at the moment, and Kayle is the ultimate. Unfortunately, still too much damage off.
Uses it as
Caps
like a,
does die, but
bomb
he
on himself,
kills
like
the
a
Zoe
bully bomb.
anyways. So it means that the Zoe doesn't
Gets the
have.
Sheen, gets the Aether Wisp. He's
Okay,
going for a
so
Lich Bane here.
I think he goes
I
Lich
just
Bane
noticed
then.
Corki top
Yeah.
04,
Yep.
Silverbot 05.
And
This
that
is
means
season 9 in a
that he
nutshell.
wants to really nuke people. That is
Okay,
basically
everybody
his
should be
job.
pretty
He
excited.
says,
We're
"Hey
getting
Zoe,
a,
I'm gonna do your job, but
an
better
update
because
on
I'm
ranked
late
tomorrow,
game,
guys. So we're getting
and
a
I
big
don't
ranked
rely
update
on
post
just
on
hitting
if they're gonna
skill
reset
shots.
ranked,
I
if
just
they're gonna
auto
change
attack."
Illaoi,
And now
if
you
they're gonna
see
do-
he
Tomorrow,
finally
we're
hits
gonna
his level
finally find
11.
out. Are they gonna
Now
reset
you
it?
can
Are they
see
gonna
that
leave
from
position
level
queues?
1104, he can
We're gonna
actually
find out.
ranged attack.
It's
No, he's
taken a
level
while,
12 now,
at
but
least
you
Riot
know what I
Games
mean.
is
He
noticed,
finally
hey,
like
play-based
he
isn't
finally has
as
his
what ranked
ranged
like.
attack
We're
ranged
gonna make a
attack
change.
here. Like the W
Good for a
speed up
flank
is
here.
so massive here because he can kite out of everything that
You gotta get this execute.
people throw them. Kha'Zix is dead.
Execute. Yep, there you go. Shut down. Thank you very much.
Kha'Zix is dead
Chase
anyways.
Thresh gets a godlike
Well played from the
onto-
Kha'Zix though.
No way.
Um,
Self-ult. Oh, he's already used it. Goodbye.
he dies here. I think the
That's coming
1v3
out
was a
base
bit too
now.
much.
So
I
right
would
now,
say,
I think
but,
I think you need the attack speed item. I think
yeah, he
Nash's
can definitely
Tooth
see
is
the
pretty dog
squishiness
shit. I
of
don't
Kayle
think
there
Nash's Tooth is
because
really needed.
like she got literally
If
knocked
you go
up.
for
That's
this
all
Lich
that
Bane
really
build,
happened, and she died.
flash that
Okay,
way,
here
you
the
should get
Blessed
this lead.
died.
the Civ of the Bastard
For
is
sure,
amazing.
it's the Cipher getting the kill.
I
That's
think
really
the good
sad
part
because
for
Caps
me that has been
rotated for
working
it.
is actually
Yeah,
playing
not only
the
that,
PvP
but
into
Silver's
range
not
mode.
having the greatest
Things
game.
like the PD or the
No, that's
rapid
true.
fire cannon.
Neither is
Like-
Corki,
Those
apparently.
builds seem to be
Yeah,
working
so
better
we
than
will
these
see.
AP
Like the
builds,
W speed up
but
is
in all
so
honesty,
much.
run
You
very
can definitely
quickly,
see what he
and
is
my
doing
W
here.
heals, the ratio is
Like
pretty
he
dog
gets
shit,
so much movement speed for such. It's
Early
a
days,
short
we're still
okay,
trying to
here,
work
this
things
is
out. I'll never
where
say a champion is
it gets
completely shit,
iffy.
Until
Like
a lot
guys
of
had just
base
tried to
testing
run away
has
with the
gone in,
E.
everyone's
Normally
found
that would
there
be
could be like
out,
full tank
but
Kayle with
kill
like
W
Witsend
just
top or
catches up
something.
so
That
quickly.
is just incredibly
And it's enough to
broken. I
pick up
don't
the
really
kill
know.
there as well,
And
and
all the
that's really
champions
bad
that come
because
out,
this
and
means
everybody's
that
going, okay, this champ's dog shit. I remember Zoe. everyone's
because
like,
the Kai'Sa
this
is the
dog shit.
only like
This champ
hard
can't
winning
fucking
lane. Oh
win
no,
anything,
Corki
can't
is
do
losing
anything.
0-5.
And then turns out it takes a long
Never
time to
mind.
master
But he
and
could
know how
gank.
to really play and pop off.
Urgot here getting caught up, but he's just gonna get melted. Like I don't see a way here for the Urgot to actually do much here.
Except-
He except getting a bunch of damage off.
Double kill coming through.
But
Okay,
kill
there we
like
go.
this is the problem.
I like
Cass
it.
picks up a double kill.
Three
Like
more
this
levels,
is
guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's 8 and 3.
he's just hitting
Has he
all
made
these
outplays? He's made a couple.
power spikes
Most
so
of them has
quickly.
just
Like
been the enemy team
he's just
overextending
like
a lot
basically how
and
you play
making
skills,
huge
just
fucking errors.
blasting off on the enemy's mistakes.
Yeah. No, I guess that's enough of an example for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kayle has many different builds. I still feel like I still think even with the nerf she's going to get, people are still going to play and are going to basically move her into other builds. It does seem like Kayle's the type of champions where you can't really nerf her as a champion. You can only nerf builds or build play styles.
You need to change her power spikes.
Yeah.
Like as I said, just nerf buff her early. Like not too much. Like not overkill it, but like buff her early and take away some of her late game power. That's literally what is needed.
Yeah. I've seen a bit. Apparently, she got played in LCS Academy.
Yeah, she's been played in the Academy and Challenger Games series.
Yeah. Apparently, there was one strat where I've heard where they just kept diving kill over and over again, and they just won off that.
Yeah, obviously, like kill is no early game. So if you like even let's say you dive with 2 people.
Yeah.
Like normally that would be risky because you would say, okay, but the third shots come in and maybe like you can get a trade kill. That's usually what That's why usually people don't do it unless they're very practiced. Like Griffin does those dives, SKT does those dives. Like early game divers, there are very few teams that actually do that because it's not risky. But if you have a champion that deals no damage, then it becomes a little bit easier. You can basically take 3 third shots and still get out. And that's where the problem is. Because that means that you can take 5 turret shots in total for 2 champions. And that's a dead champion.
Yep. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so moving on from Kayle, let's go into PBE patches. So we're going to do a mini review. Apparently they already changed Wits End. So what do you actually think of Dunk Master Ivern?
Oh, it is a fun idea, but I don't think it's the right skin for Ivern. I would have actually liked Buster Garen. Also, fun fact, since we talk about Garen, I have heard from analytics and statistics from the pro play, Garen is the only champion that has never been picked up in pro play.
That sounds about right.
So there you go.
Yeah, but Garen, does that mean Garen's shit? No, it just means that Garen is the best champion to learn as a beginner. So there, Hextech Jarvan. So if you have spicy gemstones, you can just pick up Hextech Jarvan.
I think it's a downgrade from the Darkstar Jarvan.
Yeah,
Sure.
No, definitely. And then there's chromas, summoner icons, emotes.
Wait, go up.
What, this one?
No, go up a bit more. Bilgewater icon, I really like that one. I'm gonna say that right now. That icon is cool. The other one is Galio, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's one of his skins, yeah.
And also, Butcher's Bridge is back.
Oh yeah, I like that. Bilgewater, that's why they give out the icon. That's really cool.
Yeah, and also you can actually ban champions in ARAM.
Yay!
Yeah.
I don't know why, but hey.
And also, they brought in a new summoner spell called Backtrack, which is just replaces Barrier. When activated, Backtrack gives you a small blue shield, less powerful than Barrier, and then 3 seconds later zoom you to the back towards your fountain.
Why would you need that in ARAM?
Basically, if you're an assassin.
But you don't get anything from the fountain. You can't buy an item. You can't really do anything. Fountain.
What do you mean?
In ARAM, you don't get to buy items unless you die.
No, towards your fountain.
Oh, okay.
So basically, you're an assassin. You go into them, you kill them, you activate Backtrack whilst you kill them, and then they're done.
Playing that would then be really cool.
Yep.
And the thing gives now health, I saw, or shield.
And so basically, Mariner's Vengeance. So it's supposed to be the replacement for Guardian Angel. So instead of reviving you after 4 seconds with 50% base health and 30% max mana when killed, you instead become invulnerable, cleanse all CC, and refresh your basic ability cooldowns at the time of death. However, 4 seconds later, you still die.
Yay! Okay, I would say I don't really care about that one, but the Ghost Walkers, that is interesting.
Yeah, basically they already had it in a previous item before, but yeah.
Yeah, I knew about the previous item, but the Ghost Walker now being a spell of some sort, that is going to be cool because that gives assassins so much power, and it makes King's E in this game are useless.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's cool nonetheless.
Yeah, actually, speaking of Mariner's Vengeance. Imagine if that item was used in Summoner's Rift, would that be more valuable than Guardian Angel, or would people still do Guardian Angel?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think people will build Guardian Angel. No, I would think everybody would build this. Maybe the exception of junglers and ADCs, because they don't really have value into re-engaging.
Yeah.
But I mean, junglers usually just buy it because to stay safe, getting a clear engage.
Yeah.
This would not keep them safe because they would be forced to die anyways. But this would definitely be a top lane.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a pick necessarily. A Guardian Angel would not be necessarily out of the meta, but it would like give users another item to feel overpowered.
Pretty much. And then let's see some changes and champion damage adjustments. Miscellaneous. So basically, if you use a practice tool, you can now win the game, destroy the enemy nexus, and stack tier 750.
Wait, what?
Yes. So tier stacked to 750.
Oh, you couldn't do that?
Yeah, you couldn't do that. You had to stack it manually. And also,
they added in the toggles. Okay, I got it now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like not thinking straight.
also your shop is back up with the PBE, of course.
Yay! I definitely want to check that out on my Smurf.
Now, let's go into champion changes. Blitzcrank. So basically, Blitzcrank's mana barrier passive is now changed from 50% of current mana to 30% of max mana. And it also, his static field has a new passive. When static field is active, lightning charges Blitzcrank Fist, marking enemies he attacks after 1 second. Marked enemies take 50, 100, 150 plus 30% AP magic damage. This has no cooldown, by the way.
Yeah, I want to say that is pretty. It's actually a good change.
Yeah.
But this also means that we gotta see a bunch of trolls picking Blitzcrank mid, thinking it's viable.
Oh, Blitzcrank top.
Full AP Blitzcrank top. People don't play it.
Also, Kayle got nerfed again.
Ooh, of course she got nerfed again because she's still OP. However, we should actually then, before we go further with this, then show us the LS discussion with.
Oh yeah. So I've actually posted it in in that group actually.
Well, just bring it up because we need it for the viewers.
Oh fuck it! I'm just gonna find it on Twitter actually. I mean, I did have the link directly, but hey, for anyone who doesn't know what LS is a coach for the Bab BBQ team. He's also a caster in the LCK, and he coached numerous teams. He actually did coach G2 Esports at one point when they were in Challenger. So,
I also want to say LS is also a private coach. He does streams, and you can hire him. But
yeah, but if you like, he charges a lot apparently, and they're more or less like preventative measures. Like apparently, if you're bronze, he charges over $1,000 just to coach.
Oh yeah, it's very expensive because he finds himself to be very good, but that's subjective. I have my problems with him, but I do think he is very knowledgeable, and that's always what you need.
Okay, so this is the one, so let's go over that. Unpopular opinion, so long as corrupting and biscuits exist, mana costs are relevant, and champions like Kayle will be able to perma-farm from range, negating intended weaknesses. That's what Shinshin said. She can't lane versus any of the following: Cassio, Jax, Jace, Aurelia, Aatrox, LOL, Urgot, Victor, Nico, Rise, Vlad, needing to play lane 2v1 by demanding your jungler guide you through on life support for a paltry excuse of a champ at level 11 isn't anything to ride home about. And pretty much Shinshin said, are you going to tell me you're smart for believing Kayle is bad now? Then also tell people you're smart for believing Kayle is secretly strong later on. Let me know when you've pinned you would flip to keep your sense of superiority going. Pretty much basically LS said, what has this anything to do with just I said? Can you just attack what I just said rather than make a comment? And me personally, also doing both is fine so long as the former exists. I don't see any reason to respond to what you said. You're the ultimate example of an idiot version of a smart man. You say stupid shit, then it kind of sounds correct without any inspection. Kayle loses a bunch of champion that beats up merely champions to horror. Like, your entire thing seems to be insulting people or regions until they come to defend themselves against you. The thing is, I have no respect for you. Literally nothing. I'll never defend myself against you. If you keep insulting it won't change anything. So, an insulting proceed to say this whole thing is insulting people. That's pretty much the exchange between the Shinshin. Wings of Death, basically Wings of Death. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he pretty much agreed with LS that the matchup is pretty much bad.
I agree too. Kayle has, like as I said, has just too many bad matchups. Like every single role, every single champion got her. That's pretty much how it works. Like the only I've heard from Silas mains that are high elo Silas, like Grandmaster, I would say. Like a friend of mine is Grandmaster. He plays Silas a lot. He lost trades to Kayle at level 1 against both Kleptomancy and Lethal Tempo. And he said to me that at level 1, it's not advised with Silas to trade with her, but at level 2, it's a whole different story. So, Kayle can win some matchups at level 1 because of the ridiculous attack speed, I would say, but not because like she's stronger than the enemy champion. At level 2, it's like it's a whole other story for most of those champions, and Kayle doesn't come online until like level 11, and even at level 11, she's not stronger than any of those other champions. It's
just I'm just gonna go and address the whole thing about Hinshin. Because I do find it really smart that Shinshin says he'll never have any respect for someone who insults everyone. But the thing is, though, is that Shinshin, no matter what, when he treats the opposition, he treats them like shit, basically. Did it with Riot Blastoise at one point. He actually even ended up having an argument. He basically belittles and insults Riot, basically all the members there, mainly because they won't nerf the champions he's up toppling against, even though nearly every other professional players and high elo players say otherwise. Teemo's not overpowered, Pantheon's not overpowered, etc, etc. But Shinshin keeps harping out this message over and over again, and it's got to a point where he does not respect the opposition at all. He does not have a sensible debate. He does pretty much devolve into petty insults and basically use it ad hominem, like, like, what? How does a Shinshin do it? Well, I can just play Jace and just smash my keyboard just like that, and then they get to do things. That's how a Shinshin speaks like, and he speaks like he thinks he's fucking smart. He isn't smart. He's a fucking moron.
I would say that I don't know if he's necessarily. I wouldn't say he's a moron or dumb, because I don't believe that is the case.
No, I don't think he's a moron in the way I think he's stupid or anything. I just think he's just lacks respect.
I wouldn't know. I think it's a show. Like, whenever that viral video hit from the times when. Right through the Counter-Strike. I've seen that video countless times.
Yeah.
And it was funny because that video was actually one of the few videos where I thought that he was right. Like, ADCs were always complaining about assassins and shit, one-shotting them, while they were pretty much for like a couple of seasons like the strongest thing in the game. And I feel that's where he had a point. And but he used that publicity that he got. He jumped up in viewers by 1,000, I remember, on a daily basis. And I think it decreased by 2,000 already, but we're not going to talk about the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
He used that publicity, and then because he was like, I think, this is an assumption, or like a theory, I would say, this is not fact. I think he started to use that ideology, that idea, that he had to become that way because Hashinshin was always already known in the NA community as a shitty player that always blames his teammates rather than himself.
Mm-hmm.
He always had excuses. Like, I remember I Will Dominate talking about it specifically, where he was like, "Oh, Fiora is OP, and I lost lane against Fiora, and then he played Fiora
And
game
then-
after or something, and then
and
he
then he
ended on
lost.
Fiora,
Yeah.
on against an Olaf, and
He actually.
and then he blamed I Will Dominate because he didn't gank him or gave him any jungle
Yeah.
pressure when I Will Dominate actually did. So it's kind of like that is just the player he is, but he uses that now to complain about game stuff, and because he thinks he has a voice when he doesn't,
Mhm.
and that is kind of why he comes off as an idiot, because he insults the other people because he thinks in his head that he's so right, but he doesn't want to listen to other people's opinions because in his mind it is all correct. And I think that comes off. Hashinshin used to be a pro player, let's not forget that, but he still thinks he is at that level when he isn't. He's hard stuck Diamond 3 or something, and I Will Dominate, that is Challenger, actually climbed on top lane with the same with similar champion pools, and he got D3 in like no time.
Yeah.
So Hashinshin is hard stuck there, and he just because he doesn't improve,
Yep.
doesn't want to improve.
No, he doesn't want. He doesn't want to improve, but he, in that case, he shouldn't really complain about the state of top lane because so many other top laners learn and adapt really, whereas he just doesn't.
I feel like Hashinshin would just better to go to the jungle. Then he gets to complain about everybody else.
Yeah.
Literally, because if you have 3 losing lanes as a jungle,
Yeah.
you literally can complain. It is like not that hard then. But that also means that you need to be intelligent about the game, and I don't think he has that.
Let's see. Let's go over the rest of the changes. We were about to plan to do some like LEC, LCS talk, but we'll leave that to the weekend. That'll probably be the perfect time to talk about it.
Oh, next week? Oh, sure. Yeah.
Well, this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. So Kayle changes. Kane. I really love this buff actually for Shadow Kane.
It will make Shadow King viable. Not sure how it will fit into the meta. I mean, for solo queue, sure, this works. This is definitely a good buff for solo queue.
So 50% low, if my maths is right, is 22 to 11 seconds, right?
Cooldown increased from 20. Yeah, it's 11, 10. Yeah, you pretty much you get in total, right, from level 1
Yeah.
to level 5. You get in total a max 4 CD without of course cooldown reduction. That is literally nothing. You can literally skip this ability. You already do that technically, I believe.
Yeah,
but
I think wasn't it that for Shadow Assassin Kane it's E max instead of W max or something like that? It's something weird, but I think people went for W max because 2 damaging abilities is best to max them. This just makes Shadow Kane E's one point wonder.
yeah, and it makes the Shadow Kane. You don't actually build defensive items, except for maybe the lethality item. I forgot the name.
So I know which item it is. It's
It gives a spell shield
Edge of
Edge of Night. Yeah, Edge of Night. But like, he goes Moby Boots.
Yeah.
And he goes Ghostblade. You want to go into the backline, and having that E up is so necessary.
Yeah.
So this definitely makes that a lot more viable. But there's still concern with gain. It's getting your form, and in shitty games you can't really get that form.
Yep. Let's look into Orianna. Q damage increase. That's just a quality of life buff. 25 extra damage on Orianna's nothing to scoff about, but Orianna's in a weird spot right now. It's going to be interesting to see when they do nerf Aftershock, basically.
I mean, do I think Oriana needed these nerfs? I don't think so.
It's a buff.
Yeah, buff. Sorry, I meant buff, but somehow I said nerfed.
Yeah.
Do I think Oriana needs the nerfs? No, I don't think so. She's actually still very viable. Some of the people still play her in the LCS and the LEC, I believe people picked her up too. I don't quite remember who it was, but
Yeah.
whatever. And I haven't seen her outside of those two regions, meaning that, I mean, we know Rookie plays everything, so I'm pretty sure he can play. Like, in LPL, Lissandra is pretty much top priority. Anything else besides Lissandra is just a no-go.
Yeah.
We do know that in the LCK, people like to counterpick Lissandra with Zoe because of the strong laning phase. But
yeah,
overall, it's not so much that Orianna is bad, it's just that other champions are better.
Yeah, that's what I meant, really. I don't think Orianna's bad, I just think Lissandra's just chucking out the mid lane meta right now.
Yeah, I would say so. I think Aftershock, Lissandra is a...
Yeah.
I mean, Riot themselves said it's weird, and I have to agree with that. It's just a weird combination. And it works so well.
Okay. Going over these, I think we did address this last time, but Teemo's getting some experimental changes. I think this is probably going to get removed, so it won't be in this patch. But pretty much is, for those who didn't know, Poison basically his E moved to his passive, and his passive moved to his E.
Yeah, it works differently.
Pretty much is less damage, but less burst damage, but more sustained damage.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, doesn't this Q also poison now? Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah, now it's a poison debuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So, pretty much in other words, I think Teemo's going to be more viable in higher reloads because of these changes, but less viable in lower reloads.
Speaking about Teemo, I have a fun fact of the week. I know this only because of LCK, so thanks to Papa Smitty for this. Clit, funny enough, used to be a Bronze 5 Teemo one trick. He pretty much looked up guides on Teemos, and then one day he couldn't find the right guide, and he saw all these Sin guides. And he's now the jungler. He's now the jungler for SKT.
No, so he was bronze 5. It goes to show, guys, that even if you're bronze 5, you can still become challenger
and become a pro player for one of the best teams in the LCK.
Yep. So never let your dreams be dreams.
But that was a fun fact about Teemo.
Okay, let's go into item changes. Cinderhulk. So the amulet, the bonus damage to minions and monsters now increased by 100%, so better clears for tanks. Tanks have been pretty much struggling in the game recently, so more power to tank junglers is great. Nunu got slightly nerfed though, so Nunu was pretty much a decent jungler, but I think Nunu fallen off by the wayside. Because
Nunu is not doing so hot.
yeah,
No pun intended. His snowballs are just melting below him. I feel like every time I see him in a pro playing match, he just gets abused. Like, there are very few tank junglers viable. Only 3. Maybe 4. Yeah, alright, 4. Let's keep it a 4. Tank Jarvan is still a thing, so Tank Jarvan is definitely a tank. So therefore it's 4. Then we have Sejuani, then we have Zac, and then we have the Nunu. Those are like the only 4 that gets play. I don't see any other jungler that can go tank.
So
right now.
remember Skarner got buffed?
Yeah, but he is more bruiser. I mean, he goes full tank later on, but he definitely needs to Trinity Force. So
basically, I've seen people just go like Predator on him and just build Cinderhulk into other items. So I think Skarner might just come back, maybe, with Cinderhulk.
I have seen a lot of Skarner, but they all go to Ninja Force.
Yeah,
Because you
true.
need- I think so. I don't actually remember the builds so well.
Yeah. So Dark's...
Brox. I think Brox played her most recently in the LEC, so that would
Yeah,
be.
that'd be interesting. Darkseal got nerfed to AP lower from 15 to 10.
You know, I mean that is pretty much to nerf double, triple Darkseal builds. Like I don't know how this keeps happening, but every single time, somehow triple Darkseal builds get viable. And the only reason why people build it, by the way, for the very few people that notice, you only build this to get lane dominance. You don't build it for anything else. You get quick AP. It's such a valuable item for the amount of money you invest into it.
Yep, 200. Yep, and also the increased healing from potion stack.
Yeah, exactly. So what people do in the mid lane, they build 3 of these, like a Zoe, like anything that can bully. Lissandra too, even because Galio mid is actually coming back. Even Galio does it. All they do is just shove waves and then roam with the juggler. That's literally the only reason why you want 3 of these in your inventory. You don't do it for anything else.
I think they shouldn't really nerf the AP. I think what they should have done is just make the increased healing from potions and the mana unique passives.
They are unique though.
No, not 25%.
Oh, yeah, that one. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's one. But I mean, you can also get it in the runes, so it would mean that.
Yeah.
Necessarily.
I think because of the Dark Seal, like champions have been specking out of what is it? They've been specking outside of sorcery page into just inspiration.
Yeah, true.
So because of that, they're not really taking mana flow ban because Dark Seal is just being a good replacement for it. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, going into Wits End, these changes are unique. So I did mention Jax being a good user of it, but you know who else is a good user of it?
Kayle.
Yeah.
I was like, who else? And I was like, yeah, that could work.
Yeah, no matter how many times you nerf Kayle, she's going to just use items like this. I mean,
Kayle can go on with any build. She doesn't have like one build that is like, oh my god, this is the build for you. No shit.
That really goes to show that they pretty much made Kayle power levels are a power spike, not her items, which I find weird.
Yeah, I mean, that was their goal, right?
Yeah.
It's clear that was their goal. So it is weird in the sense that it's weird, but it's not weird in the sense that that they chose for it, because it's just something normal, I would say.
And also, Aftershock got nerfed. They removed the damage. No longer have AP or AD ratios. That means we got rid of Lissandra mid.
No.
And also 20 to 170. So you just don't press W and get like 70 armor and magic resist anymore.
Really now?
Yeah. So you only get 20.
Oh, that's sad.
So, do you think Lissandra will go dead because of these changes, or do you think she'll just move to another room?
I want to say yes, but I'm actually unsure if she will be entirely dead. But she will in a tough spot for sure. Like I don't see her coming back easily. Like the whole issue is that she's so like she's just a stunner. She's not. Like, she's a good team fighter, good flanker. She runs the TP, and she just stalls out team fights, essentially. That's all she does. Like, she goes in, she presses her ult on herself, deals a bunch of damage because she can build full AP, and tanky as shit. She can tank up, like, a shit ton of damage, and then just only us. Right? What is it in total? Like, 5 seconds? Like, or 7 seconds in vis frames or some shit? Like, that is the only reason that she uses it. So, it comes down to how... Like, can she still do that, yes or no? And if she can't, that means that she will fall out. That means that in LPL nobody will play her again, and means that everything is over.
I think Lissandra still has her uses, but it'll just be against specific matchups rather than being a blind pick-all champion.
Yeah, but she is not there to dominate lane. Like when
Yeah.
you look at earlier metas, she was there to dominate lane because she did also like a bunch of damage, pick off potential, etc. But now she's just essentially an extra tank with AP damage.
Yep. Okay. So eyeball collection, they lowered the stacks to 10, but they increased the ratios. So no longer gives an eyeball for ward takedown, no longer gains an eyeball and assist. Eyeball and kills lowered from 2 to 1. But pretty much you just get more of this basically, so they just doubled it.
I mean, so the end result was the same, but it's hard to get.
Yeah, and then also Ghost Porro. Basically, what they just done is basically made Zombie Ward and Ghost Porro similar. Just that if your ward vision dies, then you get Ghost Porro for 60 seconds. And you get adaptive 1.2 attack damage or 2 ability power for any Ghost Porro spawn up to 10. And then you just get 10 adaptive force. And then the other one, which is Zombie Ward, which is similar, but how long does a Zombie Ward last? Zombie Ward's ability lasts for 120 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna say that just 3 minutes.
Yeah, so in terms of Ghost Porro, when would you pick Ghost Porro over Zombie Ward?
When you want early vision. Like you can lay down Ghost Porter pretty early on in the game and be safe.
When your ward expires, they changed it now.
Oh wait, really? Yikes, that is a hard one then. If you can't lay down early vision at the moment, sorry, I wasn't completely paying attention to that. I misread it. Ghost Porter right now, then you would use the Ghost Porter stays
Grants vision for 60 seconds, but nearby enemy champion scares it.
Yeah, I don't.
Zombie Ward lasts for 120 seconds.
Yeah, 3 minutes, not 2 minutes. It's actually they reduce it to 2 minutes. Okay.
2 minutes versus 1 minute doesn't get scared away. Does not count towards your ward passive.
No, but the difference is, of course, is that the zombie ward is visible, so you can clear it. Also, a zombie ward, if you place a pink ward, gets countered, of course.
But then again, if you walk into
the bush, you also
scare away the ward Porro. So
I really don't see a reason to take one over the other. Like, I would say the longer one is better. So that would mean that you would also you always pick zombie ward, not also always.
Yeah, so like that change for Porro is weird. I really need to see what maybe Ghost Porro has wider vision radius than Zombie Ward, but doesn't really matter because with good warding you wouldn't need to use Ghost Porro.
No, you don't. Like it was good because you could set up early vision.
But now it's just the same as Zombie Ward.
Yeah, that was everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's everything in the patch. So yeah. Now we're going to move on to the final part, which is just looking at community stuff.
Yay!
So let's go over the new Willem guide. So this is one by Juggernaut and Tanky Boys. Hello there. So I did read through this. He did a good lore. He explained he just holy moly! I just realised something. He hasn't sorted out these pictures at all.
QW.
Yeah, minion damage, low health and scale.
Isn't it just copy paste?
Copy paste, but yeah. So always max Q. It's your main damage and your way of staying healthy in the jungle. After that, it's best to max E. Then W lasts as long as the cooldown and does little damage. He went over what the best runes are after shock. Magical footwears just to save us gold and cosmetic side. Though pretty much every jungler's been going into inspiration recently, just to save up on gold for boots.
Not every jungler.
Not every jungler, but most junglers. Cinderhulk. Early game phases. He does explain a bit about it, and then tips, and then late game. Overall,
I would say it's a mediocre guide. I miss counter matchups. That is definitely that's something I miss personally.
Yeah. I think basically presentation wise it's not great. You're basically what ends up happening is your picture abilities are basically you could have just explained it in your own words and it would have been a lot better. Just use logos. That would have been the better thing to do. And this one blows the cooldown, does little damage. This doesn't really explain much to me. Okay, Q's your main damage. Okay, that's fine. And then E, why do you max E?
It's too little information.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you talk about an ability in the guide, you need to explain what it does.
Yeah.
You need to explain why you want to use this. And I don't feel like... Okay, he explains one. He says this is your main damage ability. Okay, but what... How? Like, how do you... Like, what do you do further with it? That's kind of what I miss.
And also, second of all, is in terms of the keystones, not every keystone is the same. Well, whilst everyone still pick Aftershock, these changes. So, for example, is people just switch over to Demolish instead of Font of Life. If for example, is the only reason you take Font of Life over Demolish is if it's in an equal game and you're not likely going to get towers for free. In which case, Font of Life is better for the healing for your allies. I would say. But if you're going to be snowballing off and you know you're going to get towers with strong lanes, then Demolish is better. And then going into that is, if it's going to be a shorter game, then you would take Bone Plating over Conditioning, maybe. I'm not too sure, actually. And then...
I don't know. You don't take bone plating on jugglers because you don't really need it. Like with aftershock, like bone plating is like you reduce damage for once, but you have aftershock for that.
So basically, it would be a choice between this and Second Wind.
Second Wind can definitely help, but I mean, Second Wind is more of a laning tool.
Fun
fact, by the way, I like how everybody always takes bone plating, but fun tip for solo heal. Bone plating reduces damage once. Second Wind actually heals you more than bone plating gives you defenses.
Yeah, I've started taking Second Wind on pretty much champions now. So
yeah. So that's a fun fact for our viewers.
Bone plating is decent to have. I still take bone plating on Soraka for all ins because bone plating does a good job of mitigating damage.
Yeah, true.
It's great against burst. As for inspiration, right. Yeah, to be fair, you'd probably go for the boots if you're going as Nunu. Can't think of anything else you would take, honestly.
Future Market, get your items earlier.
Speaking of, Ivan takes Future Market, actually.
Yeah, I know, and Draven does too.
Yeah.
Sometimes, not always.
And then... items, you're not a damage dealer, even going full tank would
I mean, that is false as well. A very trade snowball. If you can get it off, you do a shit ton of damage and a lot of crowd control. So I would say it's kind of false.
And also, boots should either be armor or MR against. So the reason why you would take Tabai is against champions that don't have a lot of CC, but you basically basic attack a lot. In which case, Tabai is more or less the default boots that junglers go. Merc Treads would be the case is if you're against a lot of CC.
I would also like to say you can also pick the boots depending on how fast a champion is. If you have to deal with a 12-0 Draven,
Then Tabai.
then you need the Dabai. Like, I don't care if the other 4 members have CC, you need it. Because the guy is way too far ahead. You need to negate his damage.
And even then, you can just spec into... You can spec into the tree and you can just go unflinching if you wanted to, just for reduced tenacity.
Yeah.
And then after that, after we go full tank, you need MR, Spirit Visage. Adapted Hell Brigade, great for AP dot damage. 4 mil... 4 mil's not that valuable in Nunu, actually.
Tormil is one of those items you can definitely build on him.
But
I mean, but he actually says the correct thing, but I would say he doesn't explain it too well.
yeah,
If champions auto attack a lot, you can and have a lot of lifesteal, like Fiora, like a like any ADC, I would say.
So-
you can pick it, but
yeah, and also not only that, you should also remember he goes over these tank items, but you forget other items as well. Nunu's a great use of Locket of the Iron Solari. Nunu's a great user of Knight's Vow.
yeah.
He also mentioned Warmogs, but why do we build Warmogs for? It's basically because Warmogs is used not only to enhance your other tank stats that you buy through over itemization, so you can get increased healing. It's also flat health. Flat health is extremely valuable.
Yeah.
And also it coincides greatly because Nunu has decent health regen stats actually. Abyssal Mask is worthless. Actually no, Abyssal Mask is fine for Nunu.
You can build it if you have a team that actually deals like massive.
Yeah. Rando and Omens, I feel like he should have gone more into it because he just says 4 mil for heavy heavy champions, but Rando also does that as well.
Yeah, but randomness is like a combination of against heavy crit ADCs that don't build lifesteal. I would say like any crit ADC, they don't really build lifesteal unless they really need to usually avoid it. And also randomness omen is also for heavy attack speed. Jinx is probably like one of the biggest counters you want.
I say champions with mobility as well because you could use the actives to slow. So yeah. And then he just goes to saying just power farm, maybe look to invade if you know where the enemy jungler is. Where I saw Hecarim blue 3 times and a red twice before 15 minute. Well, to be fair, that Hecarim was pretty bad then. If he gets his buff stolen 3 fucking times and it's red twice before 15 minutes.
How do you steal buffs 5 times before 15 minutes?
I think
the buffs spawn every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Look to invade when you're around and look at 5 and 6 is gank bot coming from behind. Warped bot is behind. What do we do, Tim?
Gank bot come from behind. Yes, try to trap them in your ult, but also use it where they can. What? Or they can't get back to safely without.
Okay, who promoted this blog? Fucking Specs.
I would say. I mean, I wouldn't say he's necessarily wrong.
He's not wrong. He's just
It's the way of wording is kind of a little bit weird, and some of the facts are just.
You know, I did suggest this before, though. This is why I suggested curators should help feature blogs become even better.
Yeah.
This is pretty much like it has potential to be better, but instead we just like pack it up, folks. Let's feature this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's a decent blog. It's a good start, but a lot of work needs to be done on this.
Let's. I would say this is useful till like gold. Till gold 4. This is useful information, and if that is the purpose of this blog, I would say he did his job.
Yeah. If you want a bit more understanding and complexity, it needs a lot of work, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over something else. Nico.
Nika Nee. From Lilybug. No idea what that is, to be honest.
Oh, it's a story. So yeah, if you,
Is that for the intro? Is that for the art the race?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not good at April.
Bug out.
Okay, well, if you want to read that, there's that one there. Elementalist Lux, that's a beautiful art. Oh, from CD Lundy. Lundy.
You can just go Lundi.
Lundy. But yeah. It's good art though, I would say.
Yeah, I like Lundi's art always. It's always really
So Lundy, if you're listening to this, I can pay you money if you can make me a good backdrop.
She's too busy, unfortunately. She wasn't able to heed my request either.
Okay, fuck Lundy then.
Whoa!
Okay, so tough decision. WK wants Writers Challenge. So people are doing the Writers Challenge, which is being.
I was not allowed in.
Why
I was like, okay, and Quinn even said, okay, thank you for joining, and he just.
Why did he kick you out?
He didn't kick me out. He just didn't add me to the chat, and I wasn't chosen as one of the 10.
Okay, rip. Well, you don't need Quinn. Well, to be fair, Quinn is doing a decent job, so I would say do hit up Quinn if you want to know about any future events regarding writing and art. And well, and also we did a trial run as well, so we're doing this again on next Saturday. So
yeah, but then we started. Then we're going to talk about competitive again for the people that missed it. We have some fun here and there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, people complaining about the competitive stuff, but yeah. Okay, but we're done with this, and also April Fools. And
It's nearly there, April Fools. It's like, what is it? It's the 26th. I suppose 5 more days.
okay. So yeah, I think right now is we're gonna wrap this up, folks. So right now is summary thoughts. Kayle is probably still OP. If you're basically late game, if you're early game, you're pretty much as good as useless.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I don't think there's anything else we can just really talk about in question. Well, what's your summarising thoughts?
Go ahead. I would say.
Hmm?
Just summarize it. Yeah. What am I about to say about summarizing?
Yeah, so your thoughts overall about the topics today. What really interests you the most?
Me.
Yeah.
I think Kill was the most fun topic because it's a long topic. It's and for me explaining stuff is just always fun.
Yeah.
So, you know.
The main fun topic for me was just addressing like the patch stuff. So if Wits and changes go through, then Kayle's can still be broken.
Yeah, I think it should tear up solo queue because people don't really coordinate as much and you get a feeling.
Yeah.
And then it's all like fine and dandy somehow.
No, definitely. Yeah. So anyway, that is all, folks. If you want to join us, we're going to be doing this on Saturday, and we're going to do it on time. For definite.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have our third guest as well. We did have a few requests for someone to join us. The only reason we've only did it with me and Tim is it was a bit of short notice, but we wanted to still keep up with the weekly schedule.
Basically, what Yates is trying to say, we fucked up, and we had to deal with it.
Yeah, and besides, we're pretty much like the regulars at this point, so we might as well do it with the core people. Hoots, we're going to keep you up to date on Hoots and whether he'll get his internet back, but it's looking like it's not going to be the case for a while, unfortunately.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, so in which case, right now, we're probably going to try our hardest to get a third regular who'd be able to come with us on a consistent basis.
Fourth, you mean?
Hmm?
I mean, I would consider Hoots a regular, so you mean a fourth.
Yeah, fourth. But basically someone to fill in for Hoots for the time being.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I think we're all done for now. So pretty much is, as Tim said, don't in his solo queue games. If you do,
Exactly.
he'll murder you.
Yeah, I can int. Okay. I know for people that watch the stream, I int in every single custom games. I don't take them too seriously. I do get frustrated. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's solo queue. Trust me, I don't int there. I play actually very serious and so. Like,
Oh,
you guys should do the same.
Yep, so just play seriously in solo queue, don't camp Richie, don't ban all his champions, and we'll all be Gucci.
Yeah.
Other
And
than-
don't spam gank him either.
Don't spam Gam King either. In fact, if you see specs on the enemy team, you just go and camp him.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yep, that's what.
You will get mad and then he gets salty and then he will flame you.
He'll flame us and then he'll ban us from Amino.
Oh.
Okay, good job. Anyway, with all that being said, good night, folks, and have good looking solo queues.